What is love? How can we classify it? Is it quantifiable or is it an abstract? Essentially, love is just an idea. Love is an essential to living a healthy life. The science proves that because of its benefits and its significance. In the multitude of ways that people show love, they have substantially shifted over time. When people realize its importance to daily life, finding love will be a much easier and more accessible thing to do. As someone who is a product of a healthy marriage for 24 years, I can speak to the subject's relevance in the real-world situations. Keep in mind, love and understanding it can be different for each and every one of you. I just hope that from my speech you take that the little things can impact your life largely. First, we're going to talk about the health benefits of love. And the first one is it can reduce stress. Having someone that you can go to for everything, that you can vent to when you need to, and when you can just talk to them, can reduce your stress by a lot, and it can make you happier. Also, it can also lead to living a longer life. When you go through life loving someone or feeling loved, it makes you happier, and it has been proven that when you're happier, you live longer. And it can also lead to faster healing, emotionally, physically, and emotionally. When you have someone that supports you and cares about you and is always there for you, you're going to heal faster in those three different ways. Now we're going to move to the science behind love. Love is a word that is very complicated because of all of the meanings it can have, and it can be quite difficult to understand at times. Dr. Helen Fisher from Rutgers came up with 3 different ways that you can break down this complicated word by saying romantic love can be broken down into these 3 categories: lust, attraction, and attachment. When you get into a relationship, usually they go in these orders of things. First, you go into lust, and that's when all your physical things are happening. Second is attraction, where you feel something for this person. And the third is attachment, where you can't picture yourself without that. Next is neurochemistry. When you're in love and you have love, you release 4 you give out more of these 4 hormones: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. And then there's also 5 love languages that scientists have proven. Everyone will go into 1 or more categories. The 5 categories are words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, gift-giving, and acts of service. Words of affirmation is when you feel loved or you show your love by telling someone that you care about them, that you're proud of them, that you support them, and things like that. To show quality time is when you just want to spend time with someone, or you show that you care about someone by wanting to spend time with them and showing them that. Third is physical touch, so that can be hand-holding or kissing or whatever else you want to show it. It can also turn into lust at some points. Next is gift-giving. It's when you can show your love or show how you are loved by just giving someone something, whether it's just a little gift here or something larger at Christmas or something. And then lastly is acts of service. It's when you feel loved or you show your love by doing something for someone, by opening a door for them, or doing the dishes for them, or cooking them a dinner. Next, we're going to move to the history of love and its significance. I broke this down into 3 different time periods: the 1920s, the 1950s, and then present day. Love in the 1920s looks much different than it does today. This was when there were flappers, and it was during the Prohibition laws. And so women were more rebellious against their parents. They weren't dressing as modest, and so it was a very different time period. They wore a lot of lipstick. That was something that really made them look pretty and things. And as the women were rebelling against their families by dressing differently and less modestly, they also went for the boys who were the bad boys, who were drinking even though it was illegal and things like that. Dates at this time may have been going to dances, going to dinners, and things like that. Next, love in the 1950s. A popular movie, Grease, is based off the 1950s, and so you can pull out like how the dating would look like in high school then. Popular dates in the 1950s include going skating, going to drive-in movies, going to diners, going to dinners, and things like that. It was also very popular to go on blind dates with people. Today you don't see that happening as often. Just since we have social media, you can see who you could go with. And then lastly, it was very unheard of for a woman to ask a man to go on a date with them. Lastly, love today. Love today can be a little different because We can go out to dinner with someone. We can go out and do many things with them to show our attraction and our attachment to them. You might have dinner over a glass of wine and things like that. But then it can also go to the lust side of things. The lust side of things has become very popular in the last 5 years with the term Netflix and chill coming. And that goes more towards the lust of a relationship. And that's why most of the relationships that have happened in the last 5 years haven't stayed. And there's been more divorces and breakups and stuff like that. By learning the health benefits, science, and history of love, it makes it easier to clasp what it truly is and what it means. I encourage you all to look into your lives and give love a chance because it has proven to help humans over time. Love is something that is accessible to everyone, so go find it and cherish it because life is too short not to. Thank you.